Hi, and welcome to the Feel Good Always podcast. I'm Becky Bradley, and this is real stories of love, connection, and remembering who we are. Today on the podcast, I'm going to be sharing some channeled wisdom from the angels, what they want us to know. If you're new to this podcast, I share channeled wisdom from my daughter who died in a fatal UTV accident. She brings this wisdom through to me, has shown me that I needed to do this podcast to really start spreading this message from the angels to us, bringing a lot of people on here to share their awakening experiences, to help us trust more, to stay calm as we all are ascending into these higher levels of consciousness, more knowing, more feeling, and all of that. So I'm just here to show what is possible, this embodied awakening that we're having. And I share my lived experience. I try to stay present and offer guidance to help us all stay grounded and calm in this changing world. So if you're new here, I'm really glad you found your way to this space. And please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast. It truly helps the message reach the people who are meant to hear them. And I don't believe anybody finds this podcast by accident. People find me on this podcast, on Instagram, on the airplane, everywhere, because we find each other through frequency. The information that I'm going to share today comes through in a very specific way. I use a pendulum and a letter board to get this information, and my daughter Keira brings the information to me, but it's really a lot of beings that are bringing this. It's a beautiful energy that just this direction that we are going to have. And I release these episodes every other week, sharing that information with you. If you would like to get the channeled information ahead of time, there's a link right down in the show notes where I can actually send you these channels word for word, and you can find your own interpretation before I share my interpretation. And I remember anything that we're getting anywhere in the world, whether it is on a podcast, in a book, out in the world, we really are using our own discernment. We're using how we feel inside about the energy of the information that is coming through. So even if I share something that does not resonate with you today, just listen for what you are supposed to hear. I am not meant to have all of the answers. None of us are. We each are finding the answers for ourselves. This message speaks directly to this inner work of this awakening because it starts on the inside, and there is a great awakening. The message calls us really to continue to question everything, to use our discernment, and to do so from a regulated nervous system and from wonder and from an open heart. And this invitation is to feed calm instead of fear, to embody joy instead of chasing control, and to remember that the great awakening that we're all walking through, it's not about force, it's really about coherence. And of course, it's always about feeling good, always. Not because the world is perfect, not because we're talking about toxic positivity, but because freedom begins inside of us. So how I share these messages is I'll read them several lines at a time, and then I'll go line by line. So the beginning of this message that's coming from the angels. Now, remember, if you're hearing something, it could be your higher self giving me a message. It could be somebody on the other side. These messages that you hear out in your world, out in anywhere you go, that is your field bringing the message to you. So if you hear something that resonates with you, I want you to pay attention to how it feels in the body. If you feel like, I think that was for me, or I think I keep hearing that's for me. Yeah, just pay attention to the way that it feels when it lands, because all of this is really a feeling. Our whole life is about feeling. And as we become more attuned to this energy, more attuned to what is possible in these physical bodies, we are noticing more, and we're all doing this together. I am just sharing my own experience and how I'm walking through it. And then, of course, I'm bringing this information to you straight from this collective group that is helping us, Keira and all of the angels. She refers to them as UTs. UT stands for ultra terrestrials. I start off and I ask her, who is here? And the response from her is, Keira, UTs. And so she's right away establishing the fact that this is collective guidance. It is a combination of souls bringing this information forward to us. The next thing that is said is coherence. High vibration quiets. Quiet establishes. Feed vacating. Feed high vibration. And so this coherence, that first word, that was interesting. I haven't had her spell out coherence. And coherence is really alignment. It's that feeling of our heart, our mind, our body, our spirit being aligned, our nervous systems being calm, that feeling of a unified field. And This word coherence being at the very beginning is really just setting the tone for this transmission that has come through. And the next words are high vibration quiets. So this high vibration can sometimes feel intense, but it doesn't create chaos. It creates a stillness within us. When the energy is elevated, the outside noise that of things that are not real, essentially distorted, it kind of gets quiet. So they're just saying high vibration quiets, and it quiets the mind. I know what it feels like to be quiet, and I know there's a lot of peace in that. Quiet establishes feed vacating. So they're saying that quiet establishes the foundation, that the stillness creates that foundation. And then the feeding of vacating, they talk about vacating a lot. Keira will speak of vacating. It implies like clearing out that distortion, what's not real, bringing it to the surface. More light brings the things that are not true to the surface. So feed high vibration. Feed high vibration is what's said next. It's a repeated instruction. What we focus on, what we have in our life, whether it's what you're listening to, the people that you're around, the books that you are reading, every aspect of our life, what we are embodying, that feeds the field that comes back to us. Our life is our field. And so if we're feeding high vibrating things, food, people, what we're watching, every part of our lives, we end up getting that back into our life, and then we just find more of that high vibrating coming in. The next 3 lines, you are high vibrating. We ask victory with a joyful heart. You came here with a joyful heart. Okay, I love this. When Keira first started channeling to me, she would tell me over and over, you are high vibrating. And I appreciate that because it was making me understand my experience and putting some words to understand it. If you're listening to this, most likely your vibration is high and you are connecting to this energy because we find each other through energy. And they're just saying that as an affirmation. Yes, you are high vibrating. Okay, it doesn't make better or worse. It just means that's where the vibration is. And the next thing, we ask victory with a joyful heart. You came here with a joyful heart. So victory here is not like conquest, like we're not overtaking anything. It's just that we can maintain joy despite anything that is going on around us, despite the illusion, despite the matrix that we are in. We can have victory over what is not true. We're just being reminded that joy is part of our original state. You came here with a joyful heart. Think about babies. Babies just come out with pure joy. Do they cry? Yes. No one said that you don't feel, but the mind that can attack us, I don't mean like in a bad way, but our minds can be fed and programmed in certain ways that maybe aren't the best for feeling, or tell us that we're not entitled to feel good. And so you came here with a joyful heart. So they're just reminding us, remember what it was like. Try to come back to that original state, of pure joy. The next lines, keep waiting. We will carry you. Keep questioning. Stay calm. When they say keep waiting, we will carry you. Waiting, keep waiting. It's like wading through mud or wading through the water. Keep waiting, like through this density, through this things that are tough. Not sprinting, not thinking that there's somewhere we're going on the other side, just continuing and remembering to trust that they will carry us. It just implies that there's support, not that we're doing this alone. They need us and we need them. We're all collectively one doing this together. And I love this constant reminder to keep questioning and stay calm. So discernment, use your discernment. That's a core principle of what we talk about here. Discernment, question everything, but continue to do it calmly, not as like being frantic, just being calm and like, is that true? Does that feel true to me? I very much will stand in my own truth of what I am experiencing. Now, sometimes my life will show me things over and over, and then I can have a new belief. But I do question everything, all my belief systems, especially ones that don't feel good. The next lines are, you can feed calm, stay, feel, hide wisdom, high UTs, feel what gives calm, feel UTs give you high vibration. So you can feed calm. So we do that. We embody calm so it spreads. Stay, feel, high wisdom. Staying in the feeling based in our bodies, not in the mind. We're staying in our bodies. How do we feel? So feeling the wisdom that is coming through, using that discernment. High UTs feel what gives calm. So the theme again, calm, that signal of alignment, high UTs. These are these beings that are helping us. So if there's something that increases our calm, it's resonance. That's why the next line was feel them give you a high vibration. I recently did a breath work where I was walked through a meditation at the end where my body was really vibrating because I was already doing breath work. And she walked us through this beautiful meditation where she talked about the sun feeding us light and feeling that light pouring into our body and into our cells. And I could actually feel it because my body was at the high vibration, but that's happening all the time. We are being fed this beautiful energy. Our bodies are feeling it. Even if we don't actually feel it, we are feeling it. So we can try to pay attention when you're feeling good. I know when my daughter died and I would feel good and it didn't seem like in a material world that I should, I was feeling that energy that was being fed to me. So we use our bodies to feel the energy of what is true. Okay. Continue to use your body and come into your body to feel what is true, that intuition. The next lines, a stillness brings calms. Victory really happens within. I love that. So this is foundational. The external world, everything that's happening, this movie that we're all walking through, it's an illusion. Really, our consciousness comes from inside. Inside is truly what is happening. And so that victory really happening within is that inner coherence, that inner calm. The next thing, carry UTs, ultra terrestrials. So we're carrying this frequency that is being fed into our bodies. We're carrying it everywhere we go. We are embodying this beautiful signal, this higher vibration. And anywhere we go, just remember, if you can be walking through the grocery store and just say, imagine yourself shooting out light to everywhere you go, because you're embodying it. Every interaction, every looking at a leaf on a tree, every petting a dog, every one-on-one action is carrying this frequency. It's one-to-one. We are just doing one-to-one, doing it every single time. The next lines, great awakening feeds feel good always. Victory has each joyful heart using grace. Oh, I love that. Yeah, the Great Awakening, this beautiful expansion of humanity's consciousness, this awakening, it does feed the feel good always. It's not fear based, it is coherence based. It is that unified, aligned field. It feeds the feel good always. Victory has each joyful heart using grace. I love that line. Again, I'm going to read it. Victory has each joyful heart using grace. So, can we use grace on everyone? Not using our egos, I'm right, you're wrong. Just joy in your heart, using grace for yourself, especially, and for others. And that joy and grace together, that is the path, that we can do those things together, that can create this beautiful coherence and resonance. The next line, another one that I love, can we just vibrate together in a field of truth? Oh, I love this. This feels like collective resonance. It's not like that anything I could really teach or convince you of. It's just coherence. It's what's actually what we have possible, right? Can we just vibrate together in a field of truth? Well, guess what, guys? We're doing it. We're already doing it. As you listen to this, we are vibrating together in a field of truth, and it feels pretty good. The next lines, jail can be created in you. Freedom is always established within. Freedom brings feel good always. Start now. Okay. Yeah. So prison, we can hear our mind can be a prison, right? They are saying jail can be created in you. So jail is like that prison, the fear, the confusion, the doubt, the distortion. There's that. And then on the other end, there's the mirror of that. There's that freedom that comes from within. So we are creating it. Think about when you're miserable, like your experience. Even when my child died, I had to remember that I was having my own conscious experience and that this jail can be created within us. It's not outside of us. It's not outside, it's within. And that freedom that we can give, that brings the feel good always. That's the next thing they say. Freedom brings feel good always. Start now. So we can go from freedom that gives us peace and feel good always, and always saying start now. And the last little reminders are keep writing, keep taking you, question everything. So we're going to keep writing. So this is for me, maybe it's for you. Clear instruction to continue to create. And yeah, take yourself on this journey. Bring your full self, your true self to this. Question everything. Use that discernment over and over. Oh, I love this. The last thing that is said is jail has a great way. Jail is each wonder wants you confused. So basically, the system, this illusion, this matrix, it thrives on our confusion, and I can feel confused. And that confusion is essentially energetic jail. It's a jail inside of myself. So jail has a great way of taking the wonder and the awe and then me being confused, us being confused as to what's going on. And that's why we help each other. You help me and I help you. The last thing that is said is bring wonder and open heart. Feel good always. That childlike curiosity and open heart, a coherent state. This helps counter this confusion that we just keep going, that we trust and we surrender and we say, thank you. Thank you for leading us. Thank you for sharing. And that brings us to the end of this message. I want to remind everybody, I'll be doing these every other week. I'm also sharing breath work, which also, if you want to get the messages ahead of time, you can click down below, or you can also click and see all the breathwork offerings that I have locally if you live locally, or also online at the end of the month. There's a link right below where you can find out more information about that, where you can meet me. We can all do this together. We can help our bodies come in tune. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you all for being here. So feel good always.